Awesome.
Cool.
So you wanted to talk to me about like writer's block kind of, or like getting started with writing or
Mhm.
with your book. So where are you kind of at in the process?
Yeah, so I've outlined what I want to do with the book. I think I have like 18 chapters, and I've only completely written one. I've partially written like five others. Um, and I did that part of it, like that chunk of work pretty quickly. And then I
Hmm.
just kind of like, I don't know, I hit a block where I think a couple things came up for me where it was like, one, like, what makes me think like I'm qualified to write this? Like I'm still pretty early in my career. My book is to help people through boot camps. It's called the Boot Camper's Companion. So in a sense, like you only have to be one step in front of your audience, but at the same
Sure.
time, it feels easy to get imposter syndrome. And then another thing, I got caught up in kind of like the formatting of it and was like, I have no idea what I'm doing here in terms of like how to like physically publish this. Like, it wouldn't be a physical copy, but like, what tools should I use? Like, how do I add graphics? Like, how do I make it consistent? What fonts do I choose? And that felt a little overwhelming. Um, and yeah, I think I'm just, yeah, just getting bogged down by certain things and having trouble kind of moving it forward.
Yeah, totally. That makes sense. So it sounds like there's a couple of different issues at play. So one of them sounds like just you kind of got through the initial like high motivation
Right.
part and got that done, and now you're sort of in the grind of getting the rest of it written.
Yeah.
But then what's kind of, it sounds like that break in momentum has also led to kind of starting to overthink, or maybe think like, oh no, like the imposter syndrome, and then getting bogged down on like the details of um the formatting and that kind of thing.
Totally.
That sound about right. um
Yeah. I don't know whether or not the sunshine in Portland is to blame a little bit as well, but it's
yeah,
just
that
been like too nice to be inside after the workday.
yeah, yeah. When are you hoping to launch this puppy?
I would love to have it done by the end of summer, so like basically the end of August.
Okay.
I don't know if that's realistic. It's hard for me. I feel like I'm gonna have to get further into it before I know how doable that is. I think like the actual first draft of it, I feel like I could have done by like early mid August, but then I feel like I'm underestimating the work from initial first draft to like out published. People are buying it.
um Not necessarily. It kind of depends. So you said like 18 chapters.
Mhm.
It's definitely a good exercise to, you can always update it or add to it after you launch it. So you want to get it to a point that you're like proud of, and you, like, feels pretty much done, and get it, you know, do the build up to it and launch it and everything. um but you don't want to get too bogged down on like making everything perfect, because
Yeah.
a lot of the value that you get from launching a book is having other people read it and give you feedback, or things like that. So
Mhm.
you're going to end up tweaking it a little bit afterwards anyway.
That makes sense.
So I think that's a pretty realistic time frame. Just there is a lot though in that part of it, of just sort of like wrapping it up and packaging it and putting it on some sort of platform and that
Yeah.
kind of thing. I would leave a couple of weeks for that, just to kind of focus on that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But
When
uh
you published your, I don't know if you've done multiple, but when you published your recent ebook, what was like the biggest hurdle for you?
yeah, so I've done two so far, and the the first one, I well, it's sort of all related. Well, it turns out that like book formats are not an easy problem to solve. There's like the things you need to do for like a PDF are really different than what you need to do for like a EPUB or like Kindle book. And that was kind of the mistake I made with the first one. Was I wrote in this app called Ulysses, and it uses this, it's markdown, but it's like markdown-ish. It's like mostly markdown, I guess.
Yeah.
And it was really great for creating the PDF because it uses this like kind of like CSS light to style PDFs.
Okay.
And so that turned out to be really good, but it didn't go very well for, I could never get a version out that had the like ebook formats. So for this second book, I wrote it in an app called Scrivener, which is like a writing app. And the downside there is you can't write in Markdown. It's like a rich text editor, basically. It's like Word. But it's sort of built for this kind of thing. And so you can easily like define sections that then translate into styles for each format and stuff like that. And that was better. It turns out that like most developers who write books really want to write in Markdown and export to all these different formats, and it's just not a very solved problem. I think it's LeanPub that might let you do that, but I didn't want to switch. I didn't have a desire to like try another public like platform or anything like that. But really like that kind of stuff though, all the production stuff, it's good to kind of have a deadline on that and just get it out the door, because you can always change things later. You can always move to something else or like export to a different format or whatever else. Like all of the marketing stuff, like if the content is really good, then the marketing side of it is going to be what is the most helpful, and all those other things are sort of details that like, you do your best, but you're gonna make mistakes just because it's like your first one or something like that. So I would put the bulk of the time into just writing and developing the content and stuff, and then pick a like a format or a platform. In the beginning, I honestly like wouldn't stress about having like all the different formats and stuff, like unless you come up with a solution that works. But if it's one of those things where if you find yourself going down like this rabbit hole and it's taking hours and hours, then it's just, you can always do it later, like I wouldn't let it hold you up from like writing and launching it and all of that kind of thing.
Yeah, good call. So far, I'm writing on Pages, just the built-in on my Mac, and then I've been doing some graphics using Canva and dropping those in.
Yeah. To be honest, like that's gonna be fine. Like people, it's gonna be a popular enough topic. People really like you. Like it's gonna.
It's only because they don't know me.
That's always the problem, right?
Yeah.
But like, yeah, since you're getting started in this and building an audience and all of that stuff, like the content and the topic and everything are going to be enough to like get the ball rolling on all of that stuff and like get people to buy the book and all of that. And then you can kind of rethink what you want to do and add more formats, or maybe nobody cares and so you don't do that, or maybe you later come up with like a second edition or something like that. But I feel like the idea of kind of doing iterative books is like really helpful these days, because there's just like so many books and so many people doing things. So that's kind of what I would say there. As for the writer's block, or the kind of running out of out of steam or something, I think the best thing you can do is just kind of try to show up and do a little bit at a time. One thing that really helps me with that, I've learned, is sometimes I need like a separate place to just like verbally vomit what I'm trying to think about, because the like typing it directly into the like whatever app I'm going to be using, like typing it directly into like the manuscript, like is overwhelming, because it makes me feel like it has to be like finished for some reason.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's just me, but like I found that like both with Ulysses and Scrivener, I had to like go to my regular note taking app Drafts and just like start typing things and like moving things around and kind of like thinking it out loud and stuff like that. And then I would just move it into like the app for like when I was ready to like edit it and like
Right.
make it a little bit more finalized, because I think that kind of gets intimidating, because you're looking at like this big thing that has to get done and chipping away at it, and that can be really overwhelming.
Yeah. Yeah, I do like the idea of just being able to sit down and just like write what I'm thinking. Be like, I know this will go somewhere. Like, and yeah, maybe if I just drop a bunch of thoughts in like a note app, then I can take it and like put it to the places where it fits, because I do feel like I get stuck on that. Like I'll start going on a tangent and be like, oh no, don't like write this here. It doesn't belong here. Like,
Right.
where would it go? And then by the time I figure out where it would go, I've like lost my train of thought.
Yeah, it's kind of like drafting is its own skill that you kind of just practice, where you have to just let yourself not worry about what the finished product is going to be, and just kind of assume. There's a great writer named Anne Lamott, and she always says like, just assume you're going to throw away the first draft. Like, just don't think about it. Just write down whatever you're thinking and feeling, and then like then you can. It's kind of like, I don't know if you ever do this, but sometimes when I was working on like a really gnarly bug, it was like too hard for me to solve it in the context of the actual application. I have to go make like a kind of proof of concept or something to kind of isolate it and think it through in that, like just like a console application or
Yeah.
something, or like in that way I wouldn't have to like try to come up with a solution in the context of like an existing system. I could just like kind of work it out. And that's I do the same thing with drafting.
Yeah.
But sometimes you just have to like get yourself going.
Yeah.
And even if you just start by typing like, I really don't feel like writing right now, and I don't really know what to say, but I guess I'm supposed to talk about this thing, and like that makes me think of this thing, and
Yeah.
then that just kind of like gets you going, and then you can get into the flow. And I find that it really only like consistently, it only took about 10 minutes of that at a time to like kind of get past that hump of like not knowing what to say, or like getting distracted by things and things like that,
Yeah, that's a good idea. Just like write down everything you're thinking, even if it's not related, and soon enough, in theory, you'll start writing about what you're supposed to be.
Yeah, and if you just do that a little bit every day, then you'll start kind of like getting into the flow.
Yeah. Another
Deadlines can
thing,
also really help with that. Like if you kind of say like, I'm going to write a chapter a week, or whatever is kind of realistic, or something that you can try to keep to some sort of schedule, just to kind of trick yourself into like,
yeah,
pretend like you had to deliver that chapter to somebody, even if
yeah,
it's not done. Like, just kind of, what would you do if you had to do it by the end of the week or something? And that can kind of force you to try to like formulate your thoughts and put it down.
yeah. I lost my train of thought. I was going to ask you something.
Oh yeah, we were talking about.
What were you talking about? Um,
we were talking about like drafting and doing like a little bit every day and like stream of
I don't
consciousness.
know if this was the thing I was going to ask you, but I did want to ask this anyway, is how, like, did you find certain people to edit or to like give feedback? Like, how many people did you ask for feedback from before you published?
Yeah, this is one thing that I did differently the second time around. The first time around, it was a little bit of a different scenario because one, I was partially doing, like, a friend of mine was doing this like 2-week product challenge where a group of people were trying to launch something in 2 weeks basically. And but I had already, like, I had the getting started in DevRel stuff like in my head, and I knew I wanted to do it, and I like um just needed an excuse to like have somebody make me do it. And so that's so it was like I wrote it and shipped it in 2 weeks, but I already had so much of it like either drafted or in my head or in other articles, or so it was a little bit of a weird scenario. And because I was in like a deadline, I didn't get a lot of feedback on it. So for the second book that I did try to get some earlier feedback. I experimented by doing like I did like a pre-sale, and then people on my newsletter, I asked if anybody wanted to read it ahead of time. Um, and that was modestly successful. I mean, some people did it and some didn't. And then some people gave me some feedback right afterwards, which was helpful. I feel like you kind of have to gauge the quality of feedback by like how well you know someone and how much you trust their opinion.
Yeah.
So early on, I probably would limit it to just like a couple of people who you know and trust or something like that. Just because sometimes it's hard to communicate like the vision of what you're trying to do, and your writing style and that kind of thing. So it's definitely valuable, but then you'll get more feedback after you like launch it, which is why it's good to kind of like not make it like you're 100% perfect. Like I've spent every minute, every waking minute to get here kind of thing. Cause then inevitably you're going to like learn, you're going to miss things that you didn't think of. Like for example, the consistent feedback I got on the DevRel book was that the chapter on like a personal DevRel strategy was the most valuable. And that's not at all what I thought was going to be the most valuable. Like I didn't think about that at all. And so now that I know that, I'm going to, like, in the next iteration of it, I'm going to kind of expand on that and like think about like, oh, what is it about that people really liked? And, it wasn't necessarily a good judge of like what people were going to find valuable and that kind of thing.
Yeah, I was hoping to give this to a couple people I know who are going through boot camps so that I could see like the perspective of what's helpful. Because I think my biggest fear with this is like, obviously I'm trying to make a resource that's helpful for people who are trying to get into tech, which is a hard enough thing as it is. Mm-hmm. And my fear is that they'll spend their time reading it and walk away and be like, that was not useful at all. What did I waste my like time and money on? So I feel like, I don't know, I need to kind of push through that, give it to a couple people for feedback and rely on my own experiences a little to know that it would have been helpful to me. I can't be the only one this would have been helpful for.
Yeah, I would definitely trust your gut on that. I mean, like if you generally, what I found is if you create something that you wish existed, like other people are going to find that helpful. Mm-hmm. And don't second guess that part. If think about it from your perspective, like write something that you 5 years ago or something would have wanted, and that can translate into the length and the price and how
Mhm.
practical it is and that kind of thing. And you sort of put your first foray out there with that, and then like the feedback will come back as far as like to adjust things here or there, and you can get some of that beforehand from trusted people and then some after.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I feel like I could in my head like acknowledge that I don't know, I'm getting in my own way a little bit. Um
Yeah.
and everything you're saying makes total sense. Like it's I'm not trying to be, a famous published author here or anything. I'm just trying to write a little helpful thing. It doesn't have to be perfect. It's yeah.
Yeah. Well, one thing that really helps with that is like if you um, write anything kind of, I mean, you have written other things like on that subject that have gotten a good response, right? I feel like
Yeah.
I've seen those things. So, I mean, you kind of already know that it's going to be like useful to people and it's a subject that people are going to like. And
Yeah.
so you can, if you can do things to kind of get more of that feedback, like publish some articles or you know you can uh, reduce the scope of the book to where like if it, instead of trying to do it over the course of 3 months, you could do it 10 chapters that are just like super straight to the point, and do it over a couple of months and then get feedback for that, and launch that so that you don't spend as much time in your head kind of like working in isolation hoping it's going to be helpful.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like even looking at my chapter list, I could see how I could kind of break it into two. Because I kind of talk about there's a lot of chapters of like, yeah, how to things you could know while going through boot camp and what's going to be helpful. And then there's some chapters of like, right when you get your first job, what might be helpful. So I could
Hmm.
even like focus on the first one and be like, this is the first installment. And then a couple months later, do the second installment or something.
Yeah, like what's the main takeaway? Like if somebody gets your book, like what's the one thing that you're hoping that they'll walk away from it?
I think just feeling more confident and less confused, maybe. I think there was like I have a couple different chapters that talk about like kind of explaining some terminology that seemed super confusing to me in the beginning. That's not technical, that you're not necessarily going to learn in boot camp, but that would be really helpful to understand going into your job or talking about in an interview, or understanding the kind of people you're going to work with. Like I had so much trouble. Like it was like, okay, I'm going to be a coder, but like, will all my other teammates be coders? Like, what does this product manager do? And does that person do the same thing as the project manager? And then like the scrum master, like, is that something someone made up? So just trying to like, I, yeah, I guess like break down certain things that I found really confusing that weren't touched on at all. And then, I mean, I am really big into like building a community and networking. And so trying to like share some of the tips that I've found to be helpful in that
So it's
too. I think those are the two like biggest things.
so it's kind of like the missing manual of, all,
Yeah.
all the things that they don't teach you at boot camp, basically,
Right. Which
or
is
like the
from,
most useful things that
yeah.
they don't teach you.
And like the thing is, it's from obviously my experience, my perspective. I only went to one boot camp. I don't know that some boot camps aren't covering all of this, but from other people I've talked to, I don't know. I think it's missing from a lot of them. So
Yeah.
that's another thing is like every boot camp is totally different. So
Yeah,
yeah.
that makes sense. So the target is somebody already in boot camp?
Yeah, I think so. I had a chapter in the beginning that was going to be about choosing a boot camp, and I kind of nixed it because I know that there's a lot of information out there on that. I don't know that I could do a better or more comprehensive job. And I think that the person who would buy mine would be either someone going through boot camp or someone who's like very intentionally going the self-taught route, trying to get to a job at the end, because I also think, the kind of stuff I talk about is not something you necessarily find when you're on like free code camp or some of the
Yeah.
other sites you would learn on.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, the more you can focus on kind of the writing to the person that you're talking,
Mhm.
the audience that you're talking to, like the individual that you're talking to, and kind of thinking in terms of like what mindset are they going to be in and how much information they can absorb and what type of information they're going to be, you know, able to process and that kind of thing. If you think back to how you were feeling during boot
Yeah,
camp and all of that stuff,
that's true.
that also can kind of help shape the size and length of the book and everything.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true. I like know there's already so much information going into your brain when you're going through that. So
Yeah, yeah, for sure. I mean, but it definitely sounds like a great idea. I think it's going to be awesome.
hopefully
But
I just
yeah,
need to focus. It has been fun to reflect on my experience too, and like, kind of cement some of the things that I feel like I've learned or have been useful. So I'm trying to focus on it being like a good writing and learning experience for me. And if I can make a little money off it, that's cool. If I could help a bunch of people, that's awesome. If just like 5 people read it and I learn that writing books is not for me, well, as long as I enjoy the process, that's fine too.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's interesting for me, like with the DevRel book, I think the thing that's been most surprising about it is that like it turned out to be a really effective way to get people to read my writing. Like I have all this like free content on my blog and stuff like that. And like for whatever reason, just like having it packaged up as a low cost book has actually, it's caused way more people to read it and like helped a lot more people that way, which I find really interesting. Like
Yeah.
there are several chapters of the book that I just put up on my website just to get like inbound traffic and that kind of thing. And like they don't get nearly as much traction as the like same version in the book or like a updated version in the book or
Yeah.
and I think it's just having like this packaged up thing that people can buy and read and they're more likely to read it because they've bought it, like it's been a really interesting kind of experience with that. And I'm sure it'll be something similar for you,
Yeah. Yeah, totally.
Yeah, no, that's great. And yeah, just chip away at it and
Yeah.
don't second guess yourself, you're definitely on the right track and it's definitely, uh, I have a feeling it's going to go really well.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I hope so. And thanks for the advice. It's nice talking to someone who's like been through it. And like, I think there's things that like you said, I am overthinking and like stressing about that's like not really a big deal or not necessary to worry about considering what I'm doing. And yeah, I'm not trying to get on like, I don't know, Reese's next book club pick or something. So yeah,
Yeah,
I think I just need to like kind of relax, not take myself too seriously and write what I know.
yeah, and and the more you can shorten that cycle of like working in isolation versus getting
Mhm.
things out into the world and
Yeah.
seeing the response, I think that'll help you a lot too.
Yeah.
As far as the logistics go, I don't know if you know, but Stephanie Mario has a book about self-publishing for developers.
Oh, okay. I don't know if
That's really, really helpful, where she kind of just goes over all the like ins and outs of all those things and that kind of thing. It's called, here it is, The Developer's Guide to Book Publishing. And not all of it is, I mean, you don't need every single part of it. I just messaged it there, but it definitely helps kind of go over all of those different processes and things like that. And
Mhm.
so in the beginning, you might not need every single part of it, but it definitely has a lot of good stuff in it to
Cool.
look at.
Thank you.
It helps me a lot for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, thanks for chatting today.
Yeah, yeah, you're totally welcome. Yeah, keep me posted, and if there's anything I can do to help you, just let me know.
Cool. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Well, cool. Yeah, well, I hope you have a great rest of your day, and
You
hope the
too.
weather gets back to being awesome like it used to
Yeah.
be.
Definitely.
Yeah. All
Cool.
right.
Well, see you around.
See you, Caitlin.